It's our Masters recap episode. We had happened what we all said was not going to happen. Rory came out, repeated, but got a Guinness for Rory. Cheers to Rory. He did it. Certainly played well all week long. With it being a recap, we got Owen back. Welcome back. It's first time on here, season 3. How you doing?
Doing fantastic. For the record, for all the listeners, I might have not picked them in the picks for the basic bogeys. Come up to you after I listened to the podcast and came up to you at work, and I said that you got wrong and that Rory was gonna contend. I think he was gonna win, but I thought he was gonna be up there. But sure, happy enough to be wrong on that end. So
yeah, I mean, certainly, I was a little worried after the Saturday round or after the Friday round going into Saturday that it was going to be a boring weekend. And certainly everybody made the big push on Saturday there to make things interesting going into Sunday. Because that was, I think that was the record for the 36-hole lead, I think.
Yeah, definitely. It was, I think it was 5 under. So definitely you think that probably freed some of the guys up being like, all right, we got nothing to lose. Obviously it was a big margin, but, just that, yeah, like I said, that go out there, play free a bit. Rory did not do that on Saturday, but you wonder if that on his end kind of affected him as well, as like a little more pressure, like, oh crap, like I have a 6-stroke lead right now. If I squander this, if I lose, then that's a big thing. Yeah, that's, you know, there's a side to both sides to it, you know, interesting to think about.
Yeah. That almost would have been worse than like the stretch of him not winning the green jacket, blowing that much of the lead, and not just like letting one person come back, but like everybody creep back into it. And I'm sure he obviously was heading into that round playing it safer, not trying to be aggressive, but then you know, everyone else was just pin hunting and lots of birdies made.
Yeah, it was interesting. Like I was watching the press conference, Rory, after Friday, then juxtaposed to the press conference after round on Saturday. He almost seemed like in a better after the Saturday round. Like, he just kind of seemed tired, maybe a little exhausted, and whatever else. He was like, he knew he obviously played poorly, but he was going to go to the range and I'm going to go figure it out. So that was strange. I was like watching it. I was like why? Like he just let everybody back into the tournament. But I wonder if just kind of not having that fear so much on Sunday, or losing a 6-stroke lead going into Sunday, kind of freed face up a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was crazy how many people were then in the mix. Like, it really brought in, like, I mean, what, Scheffler started 6 under Sunday? I think he was 6 under and, like, posted the number there. So, like, it was, like, a big, like, 5-6 strokes back. We're still kind of in the mix going into Sunday, which was, I mean, it certainly made for a very interesting Sunday. I know we, like, kind of going back to the picks here, we had, I mean, Bud came up big with Scheffler sneaking in to taking that second place. I really didn't think Scheffler was going to be in the mix at all, as much as, like, Cam Young or Burns. I would have thought those were the guys that were going to win it if it wasn't Rory. I almost had a feeling that Rose was going to struggle again down the stretch.
Really? Yeah. He had it, like, going into before 11, you know, he had that lead there.
Yeah.
But then, he pissed it away.
That, and then
11,
the Duff chip on 12, too, was then brutal. I mean, he left it in the worst spot along the green.
Did you see before he actually hit that? Like, they didn't really acknowledge it on the broadcast, but there was, like, 2 workers kind of walked up to the green, whereas what I assume was to blow pine needles in front.
I didn't know if it was the pine needles or the sand from that bunker. I don't know what it was, but I did see that.
Yeah.
They didn't. they didn't say anything. It was just like, what is? I was thinking the same thing watching it. But that's it. Like most people were putting from back there, and then he tried to chip it, and it's tough and tough that it left it short.
Yeah. Russell Henley obviously played well there on Sunday. I didn't even realize he was kind of somewhat close. Like I didn't even realize he was at 6 under going into it. But he was pretty close there for a while too. I think if he made a couple more, he could have won it. He seemed to be well hit.
Yeah, I mean he's someone that's just consistently right there. Like he's always top 10. I don't know how many wins he's got on tour. I think it's only a few, but like he's just, it doesn't matter what it is. If he's playing, he's top 10 like consistently. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I think I mean I had thought a lot about reversing my top 20 in the win with Cam Young and Matsuyama. Like I actually bet on both for the latter, like to win top 10, top 20. But it was just so cool to see Cam Young up there in the mix. I don't know. I've become quite a Cam Young fan lately. I like the way he carries himself and the way he plays the game. And seeing obviously like win the Players was huge, but I mean he's bound to win a major, if not this year, very soon. He's on that list.
Yeah. Yeah, like I remember being a fan of his after it was the 2022 Open, 150th Open at St. Andrews.
Yep.
He solo. But going into it, I can't remember if Rory was in the last group, but with Cam, people were rooting for Rory to win, and he couldn't quite, and Cam pulled away. But on the last hole on 18, Cam Young drove the green, and he actually made the eagle putt as well. After that, for a little bit, up until kind of maybe the second half of last year, he just disappeared and didn't really, I don't know, just didn't seem to have that stuff, and it was kind of peculiar. I don't know really why it was, but obviously as evident as how he played this week. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to go all the way, but like you said, I think definitely be contending for major championships here the rest of the year.
Yeah, I mean, he was putting really well the first 3 days, and then Sunday it's just there's a lot of putts that were just slightly off, and then that's where I think, just not having played there as much as Rory, like Rory was just hitting putts pretty consistently, other than there was that 1-3 putt when I texted you, I think it was like on 4 when Rory dropped way back at the beginning, and that's when I thought he was going to be done, but he fought back from that. And after that too, I don't think Rory missed another one inside of like 7-8 feet type of thing.
No, it was interesting just seeing kind of Rory walking around. He just kind of seemed to be calm and okay in the moment, versus people up there just kind of like Justin Rose. The way he walks kind of normally in tournaments, he's kind of like bouncing around a little bit. Like Rory does the same, but like he just seemed to be kind of very thick, and like any shot he was hitting, he just seemed to be kind of looking at it and just like kind of nervous about it. Like, Cam Young's kind of just even keel as he is for himself. But then Russell Henley was another example of just he just kept making these faces at the shots that like when they're in the air, just kind of looking at them in a strange way. It was just so funny. But like those guys haven't. Justin Rose has, but yeah, like those guys, a lot of those guys just haven't been the Masters outside of Scotty, actually, so I'm sure that part of it, not having won it like Rory, made a big difference.
Yeah, I think Scotty was in a tough position too, because like Haotong Li was all over the place. Like I think that they said like 13, it took him like 20, 25 minutes, and it makes you think, like, if he's paired with somebody else, does he just make that one other birdie he needed to tie? There was a lot of times where he was just waiting for forever. And it had to have been a really brutal round, because I think he shot like an 81 or 82, while Scotty was posted like a 66, 67, whatever he was at.
Yeah. It was strange. Like, I don't know if you, because they didn't show it on the broadcast, but I don't know if you saw how Tung, he made a 10, which is for us. I mean, maybe maybe making lots of 10s, but when we're normally playing, not so much. But his drive was fine. His second shot kind of went a little far, flirting with the creek. And he was trying to lay up, and then like seemed to hit a rock or something, bounced up into. I don't know if he lost it or dropped it or what, but he tried hitting out of there, went nowhere, and then I think after that he laid up, went onto the back of the green, putted it off of the, like rolled down past,
back into the creek.
Yeah, it was so I had to pass to Scotty, and then Justin Rose was behind him too, and he was waiting a long time for his shot on 13, which he actually ended up hitting a really good shot, but then he, what was it, 3-putted or 2-putted there to only make par.
Yeah.
So waiting because of someone, it's out of your, that definitely gets in a bit.
I think the same thing happened there with Rose on 11 too, because he was waiting forever to hit his approach and then pulled it a little left in the water, and that was the first one that got him. There was also that photo of like Lee like way up in the weeds somewhere. I don't know if that was on 12, because I saw he made a 6 on, I think he made a 6 or a 7 on 12 as well.
Yeah, I can look here.
But I saw that one photo where he was like just alone, way like it wasn't even like the rough. It was just straight up weeds.
Yeah. Triple on 12. Quintuple bogey. I don't even know what the word is for that. 5 over on 13. Yeah. So,
I mean, 13's that there's so much trouble the whole way. It's like that hole gets everybody all the time. And Rory was huge. He had that perfect drive with that little draw around the corner. Like you couldn't even place it in a better spot for that.
No, I that's my favorite hole, 13 at Augusta. Just because it just brings so much risk, and but also like you could eagle too. So talking about Rory hitting his drive there, and he missed it right all tournament long. He actually talked, I think, the press conference after that, like the month he played and maybe Sunday, hit like just how he wanted to, left each time when he was going around doing his practice. And then just for whatever reason, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, just kept going into the trees. So yeah, for him to hit that drive, and then especially on the Sunday, send him, that was good. I love that stretch of just, obviously their holes are really cool, but just the fact of 12 green and then 13 tee, where you're just, and there's over there, it's quiet to an extent. Like I think it's just a great thing just to pivotal time. You're just starting your back nine, just get the golfers thinking. It's really cool.
Yeah, what'd you think of the approach shots on 12? I can't believe Rory was so aggressive with that, like just going right at it at that point. Because he was already up 2 strokes at that time, and it was like I was just so aggressive, but it paid off.
Yeah, like on Friday he talked about. I think someone asked him the question of, "Are you gonna protect the lead, or are you gonna try and go for it?" And I can't remember how he answered it, but he essentially said, like, I'm just gonna keep swinging freely, keep going. I'm not gonna defend, because if you defend, then you're not, it's about it more. You're being more cautious. Just to play free is just such a big thing, So that was really the closest on that day, closest to the hole, and obviously, luckily enough, he made the putt as well. A great shot in there too, and he just barely missed that. You wonder if he did make it, how things would have shaped out for him. It's going through the rest of the back nine.
Yeah, And like, where was it? Was it 13? Young was then off in the pine straw too. Like I think he ran through the fairway, and he had a tough approach up. I think he still made birdie though, I believe. But at that point, like he knew he needed eagle, and with Rory birdie in it, it was just there's no shot.
So Cam Young made 5 on 13. He actually parred the entire back nine. Which
that's right.
reminds me going back to Scotty.
He had a good birdie look at it.
Yeah, yep. And just it seemed on the back nine, just he was a hair off on a lot of his putts for whatever reason. But yeah, like going back to Scotty. Scotty was the only player ever to go bogey free the final 36 holes of the Masters. So you just want, like, obviously he looked like pretty much same old Scotty the Sunday, but you just wonder if he on Thursday, Friday, he probably away with it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's where, like, his experience just came through. And like, if you asked him, I'm sure he knows he could have, made up another 3-4 strokes if he's not with Lee. Like, just the weight. And then on 15, too, he was way long off to the right and then hit that branch. Like, he almost had a great punch shot down to lay up and just caught the branch.
Yeah.
And he still made birdie, but, like, just another tough, just a missed opportunity.
Yeah, that was a great, like, obviously having poor luck. Trying to punch. Watching it, there was, they went over to Rory, or no, obviously you saw the putt from Scotty, sorry, and he made the birdie, and there's a big roar, and then it kind of went back to Rory after that, and I think Dottie Pepper was walking with Rory, and she was like, we could hear that roar. And I don't even think it was like a minute after, like Rory was stepping up for his birdie on, I think it was on 13, and he sunk. Like, so he knew something happened, like up ahead, but he still stepped up. No, I'm whatever. I'm just gonna play my game and yeah, I thought that was really interesting there.
Yeah, his the chip on 16 was cool too because it was similar over there by where Tiger was, and to have that. Where he could not have afforded to drop another stroke at that time, or it would have brought a lot of other things into play.
Yeah, it's just left. He aimed. I've said we've seen it a few times before. We know that happens. That's what's at the same tournament. So you have so much history of just certain holes and certain pin locations, even. So I we're thinking about that. That's just crazy how much moves there. But he showed a nice touch to get it just happen distance, even,
Yeah. I also think, like, I think everybody knew that drive on 18 from Rory was coming. Like, the nerves were, I think, were just building at that point. And I was like, dude, I didn't think he was going right. I thought he was going to be way off left, which probably would have been worse. But it was like, there was no way he was hitting that fairway at that time because it was just, it's just the nerves.
I wouldn't say I was expecting it, but in the back of my mind, I was like, please put it in the fairway. Like, and then of course it just has to put it way right. And thank God he had shot in. Like, it's probably not a bad, I doubt he purposely meant to put it in the bunker, but it probably wasn't a terrible spot to be because he kind of had that ridge behind the pin, like a backstop almost. Yeah, but it's like, go figure. Like, himself, and then obviously, like we're talking about him pissing away the 6-stroke lead. It's like it's just typical Rory, but it's full watch.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's even more impressive to be where he, like, I think at one point he was 4 strokes back from the lead on Sunday, and then to fight back, like, that's almost even more impressive than, how bad it was losing that 6-stroke lead.
like he did last year, if he would have come back from that this year, you know what I mean? Like, of just maybe having that just little bit of edge of being like, not panicking, not being like, oh my God, I'm pissed. Chance to win a Masters, complete the career. Yeah, like he did really well to back. Yeah.
Yeah, and we talked about it too. I think it was crazy. I don't know if you watched it back after that when Cam's last approach there. I just felt like he rushed it. I mean, at that point, it didn't make much of a difference, but he had the chance to tie for second, and I think he just rushed it. He knew there was hundreds and hundreds of people that had to move for Rory's shot, and instead of just taking a minute and waiting, he's rushed it. I think that's one of his worst habits is almost rushing things at times. He plays quick.
Yeah.
And then pulled it left. And I saw a couple posts where it's like those are two of the biggest shots of the tournament, and the broadcast just simply missed them. Like they didn't know where they went. And that just doesn't even happen nowadays.
It was so strange. I think they missed Scotty's punch out on as well. Like after they showed a replay of that, like the behind and like the ball kind of going through, but had no idea where it landed. And yeah, like those shots too. It's just, and sure, maybe the commentators, Jim Nance, everyone else didn't know where it was, but they didn't really, if I'm remembering correctly, didn't really say that, being like, all right, but we're gonna find it for you, and it just took a bit of time where it's like, oh my God, like that's the 18th hole of the final round of the Masters, like should be a little more urgency, I guess, but easier for us to say sitting on our couch than being down there, you know?
I think certainly Scotty showed that he's still in peak form too, and I think he's got to be the big favorite here going into Aronimik next month. That would be his career Grand Slam. And I mean, obviously he already is. No, not Aronimik. Where is it?
Is it?
What does he need?
It's U.S. Open, I think.
No, he needs the.
I think he won the PGA last year, actually.
That's right. Yeah. But still, I think he's the favorite going into Aronimik because people thought he was going to fall back here after missing the couple weeks with the kid and stuff like that. But I mean, I think he's going to be right there in the mix down there.
Yeah, he didn't really have that good of form coming into the Masters. He finished outside the top 20 a few tournaments. And he just didn't really seem to be striking the ball. So obviously found something there on you wonder how that would carry over. Another person I think that'll be interesting to watch and who ended up becoming he ended up finishing T7 on Sunday and 9 under for the tournament, but he obviously was having the back problems. Like he hurt himself. I think it was the Players, right?
Yeah.
It was just taking that practice swing, and then he was supposed to play definitely last week, Houston Open, and then I forget. I always mix up the two Texas tournaments, but last week he was supposed to play, but withdrew before the start of it, obviously because of his back. And then I don't know if you saw it, but just like watching him on Sunday, you could tell he was in pain. Like I remember him hitting on 16 and just pretty much he came out of it. Like he wasn't watching it. He came out of it, had to turn. It just seemed like he was in so much pain trying to hold the follow through. But for him to kind of grind, that was pretty impressive. And back injury too. So
yeah, I think there was a lot of it seemed like everybody that made big runs on the Saturday then didn't play so great on Sunday, and it was a whole other pack of people that made then good runs on Sunday. And it's like there was so many names so close there where of our top 20 picks, two of us, we had 2 of the 4 hit, but the others were right there. like just outside. Like they weren't far back, but it was just so many people were so close. I think it I mean, I don't know if it's true, but it seemed like that top 30 was like the closest it's been in quite a while at the Masters, where it wasn't like a few people way out in front. Like it was at like 4 or 5 o'clock on Sunday, it probably could have been anybody's in that top 30. Realistically, anybody could have gotten hot.
Exactly. Like I don't think anybody played their best golf this week through the whole entire tournament, you know? Like Rory, obviously he was scrambling very well, putting, chipping pretty well. But he obviously couldn't drive the ball. I think I wrote it down here somewhere. He was 50.
At one point he was second to last.
He was, and for all the guys that made the cut, he was still second to last in driving accuracy.
Yeah. But like after the first 2 rounds, he was second to last, and he was in the lead. But it was just insane.
Yeah, so it's just.
And I mean, obviously, it proves that he knows the greens and around the greens there, and that's where like you're making up the shots is not putting it in trouble, and them just putting well.
Yeah, I like talking about guys that made a run on Saturday but fell away. It was my other buddy. He 80 on Sunday, and I think last year in the final round he shot an 81. So I don't know if just something about Sundays there for him doesn't pan out well. But Young Lee had the most drastic fall. It's interesting. You wonder if getting into that situation just around not have won the Masters a little more and just put more pressure on themselves, you know, versus guys coming from the back being all right, probably not. Let me go out there and try my best and put something together here.
Yeah, I don't know how long it had been that like an amateur had made the cut, but it seemed weird without anybody making it this year. I feel like it's probably been like a run of like 3 or 4 years in a row with the amateur making the cut, because there's been some bigger names that have come out of those the last few years. And there was, I don't know who actually got it, because I know there was 3 tied with Howell going into 18, and then I think he bogeyed it and dropped 1 back of the other 2. So I don't know what the tiebreaker was for the low amateur.
So like I
meant to look into that, but
I wonder if it's counted since none of them made the cut, because they sitting in there with Butler cabin. Like you remember back,
I noticed that. Yeah.
You remember like back 2 years ago, I remember Neil Shipley sitting, I think it was, but I remember just that viral image of him he was looking over at a monitor or something, and it's just like, it was so funny. But yeah, like there was no one in there. I feel like
it says they didn't give it out. They did tie Jackson Harrington and Ethan Fang both +8. They both won. But that's what I was wondering. I meant to look it up before, like if there was a tiebreaker for it, but it's like how are you even going to break that tie?
I know.
But I think it's been a few years since somebody made the cut. Yeah, Sam Bennett. Yeah. That's what I was thinking of before Shipley. That was up there.
Actually,
what are your thoughts on all this talk of Rory with the extra practice at Augusta? Do you think that really made a difference?
So can you actually tell me a little bit about that? Because I haven't been following that too much.
Sorry, just before we move on, I looked back. I was like, who? I don't see a name for last year. So last year they didn't award it because nobody made the cut. But this year nobody made the cut and they still awarded it. I don't know. That's kind of weird to me. Maybe they changed the ruling. Maybe there was like complaints about nobody getting it. Or maybe nobody it was Ballester, the one that took the piss in the creek. He's the one that would have had it. So maybe they just didn't want to give it to him. I don't know.
Yeah.
Apparently Rory had played, I don't remember the number, but it was more often than not in the last 2 weeks he's played around at Augusta. Like not just the practice week, like the entire week before he was there playing rounds. Like obviously there was the talk of him playing with his dad that one round, which is like cool to do going into it, but apparently he put in multiple rounds. Which, like, there's no rule against it, but it's others, you know, if you're not a previous winner, you can't just go there and play it ahead of time.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm such a Rory guy, so it's so hard to look at it unbiasedly. So part of me is just like, it's a bit of sour grapes, you know, like just play better in the tournament then play, you know. But yeah, a competitive advantage, but I don't know. That's sports. You find an edge. I'm sure he wasn't thinking about it maliciously, being like, "Oh yeah, these guys can't play. I am. I'm gonna get a one." He wasn't playing any of the tournaments beforehand. Why wouldn't I go? Like, you can't. You know, if you're in that situation, you're not gonna not play there just because you're like, you don't want to. You feel bad for the other guys, you know. Yeah, it's interesting though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's the only reason why he won. He obviously played well, but I think it certainly made up for the difference of him driving poorly, but then knowing the spots. Like, he had a much fresher memory of like how these greens are breaking and where are the spots that are okay to miss it. But like you can still do that in a practice round type of thing. But I think that is what made the difference with him driving so poorly. If he obviously hit more than, I don't know how many fairways he hit, but if he hit like another 5 fairways, it's a whole different story. But I think that proved not that he didn't have the knowledge ahead of time, but like he knew what he needed to do on each hole. And I think probably had a much better game plan this year than he even did last year.
Right. Yeah, just being more familiar with it too. And like you said, just having it kind of fresher in the mind just helps when you're in those driving it outside of the fairway. It's more.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting next year to see if other players start to do that as well. Other guys getting there earlier, but I mean, maybe it has been done in the past, and it's just nobody like picked up on it really. I'm sure people like they go and play time to time with friends, you know, just around the year. But like to go and to do that that much before, obviously he knew what he needed to do. I mean, he withdrew from that other tournament a month or so ago, knowing that it's like his focus was the Masters. Like nothing matters to him now than the majors, you know, like it's just keep adding those majors. That's all he needs.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else you wanted to talk about that you saw? I did one other thing that was because I was flipping back and forth before the broadcast started on Sunday, and I golfed that morning, so I knew I was back before the broadcast start. I thought it started at 2, so I throw it on Peacock or on Paramount, whatever it's on. Didn't even realize for the first hour it was on some weird feature group. I was like, God, they're showing like Patrick Reed a lot, and like I had a bet on Reed to finish top 5, so I didn't mind it. And I was also because I was like distracted from the Phillies game on my iPad, and then eventually I was like, Why Rory's teeing off? There's no way that there's not coverage of Rory and Cam Young at that point. And so I missed like their first 2 holes. And it was just then I flipped it over to the actual, but it was like kind of confusing with the coverage that on Sunday.
Yeah, I know it's weird like how all week long coverage starts at now this one they had it on Prime the first 2 days, but it really 3 p.m. Thursday, Friday, and CBS. Yeah, I always feel like it's weird because you're kind of checking it all week, all day long. The guys out. Yes, it's just, and you want to watch it. Watch it. I don't know. I can't remember if it's just on the app or how you're able to do it, but. Yeah, it's an interesting
You can do
thing.
that like my groups. Like that's what I ended up doing most of Saturday because they were like not showing shots at times. Well, because I was trying to watch Cam Young because I had the bet on him to win, and he was getting hot, and they weren't really showing him on the main broadcast. So I switched over to my groups and just you can like add the favorites, and then it just whenever they're up next, they just show them, which is nice because there's no other real tournament like that where it just cycles through them.
Yeah. Yeah, it is pretty cool. Go ahead. Do you have something?
Go ahead.
Were you going to say something? Oh, sorry. My dad was talking to me yesterday about, and he was listening to else. I think it's Fairway, which is the Ringer podcast on golf, and they were talking about how you can track players when they're at their range and see what they're working on. So they were talking about how you could see what Rory was actually working on after the round of just how he trying to I don't know what exactly he was doing to fix it, but just trying to work through it and try to get that miss out. Because I don't think he's like, I know Bryson's the type of guy that'll go out and hit buckets of balls after his round, but I don't think Rory's really that type of guy typically. So it was interesting to see that, and I think that made a big difference. But yeah, like the Masters app's just so nice to use. And just being able to say and watch certain groups and follow them is they make it so easy. But
yeah, sucks because there's like none of that again now. Like I feel like the PGA is pretty standard coverage. It's really like until the Open is there other that's like you can watch any shot any time type of thing. But
right.
Yeah, I mean we're a month out from the practice round there though of the PGA. I know you're going down. I'm going down. I'm excited for that. It's going to be cool to see Aronimick walking the grounds there. But and then we'll have to. We got to do our preview show early because we're not going to be able to do it the week of like normal. But then it'll be cool getting the recap. We'll have you on back then and kind of talk about what we both saw there, and then see who wins it.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to it. It's obviously there's a couple good golf tournaments. Actually, the only one I can really think of right now, in between now and PGA, is next week is Harbour Town, which is always a good tournament. I'm pretty sure that's a elevated event or a signature event. Say it now, so you'll have a good field there. I think Scotty won it last year, but that's always a good tournament. So it'll be interesting to see compete. It might be the last time, if I'm remembering correctly, that you see all the playing with one another. I don't know who my pick would be now, but maybe Rory will have something to say then too.
Yeah, we'll see. Who was it? JT won it last year.
Oh, did he?
For some reason, I wanted to say. Yeah. For some reason, I wanted to say Fitzpatrick, but that might have been, I don't know. Fitzpatrick almost made a run this week, too.
Yeah. T18, 4 under for the tournament.
Yeah. All right, well, that's another one in the books. Thanks, Owen, for taking time to come on and chat some more Masters, and we'll see everybody next week. Thanks for watching today's episode.
To see more of our content, be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe on YouTube. We can be found at Basic Bogies on all platforms.
Thanks. We hope to see you on the next one.